What is going on, ladies, gentlemen, NBs? We are back. We're going to dive in today to a Avatar pre-release kit. Now, yes, pre-release weekend has come and gone, and you probably won't be doing any pre-release events from here on out. But I just like revisiting kind of pre-release weekend, looking at a kit, kind of building out a deck, and getting a general idea of okay, what would I build if this was my pre-release deck? Now, I don't know if you guys had watched the last video, which if you haven't, go back, take a look, at least a little bit. It's a long one. But one of my last videos was talking about pre-release cards and what was just good in general in the Avatar set. Um, Now, I'll probably come out with a video talking about how I felt after getting a little time away with some of my friends and just buying a bunch of Avatar cards and playing it. But spoiler alert, it's a real good set, and it's real good for new players and for experienced players. The mechanics are strong enough that playing simple is, perfectly acceptable, but also easy enough or balanced enough that if you want to go and play really, really complex, there is that ability there too for more experienced players that don't necessarily want to cast card, do card thing, okay, next step. Right? So let's get into it. First off, I have the Air pre-release kit. Now, you guys might know there were 5 pre-release kits. Aang, Katara, Toph, Zuko, and then Azula was actually the black one. But let's dive in and take a look at exactly what you get out of these pre-release kits and start cracking cards because that's what everybody really wants to see, right? So pretty cool little avatar artwork and sayings right on the side. Will you go penguin sledding with me? Great little comment in the first season. First off, cool little die. Now, from what I've seen from other pre-release kits opened, that is going to be just about what you're looking at. Is just like a black die with the color of the pre-release kit baked right onto it. I will say one thought that I have. There we go. So, one is your Planeswalker symbol. 20 is Aang. Well, won't be showing you that much anymore. Have to go and pick that guy up. So, typically, you get 6 packs of whatever the set is. So, typically, you would get 6 avatar packs. In this situation, they have a seeded pack. So, you get 5 regular booster packs. And then you get 1 pack that is of the color that you picked. So, we picked air. So, it's going to be white. Now, that comes in with your promo. Your promo didn't necessarily or isn't guaranteed to be part of the color of the kit that you actually ended up purchasing. But what we have here is a earthen ally for my promo. So it's a green, and this creature gets +1/+0 for each color among allies you control. And then you can pay 2 and Wooburg to Earthbend 5. So, not really a great card, especially to go into a pre-release with, unless you're really doing 5-color cool stuff. But I feel like if you don't have at least Avatar Aang, like, it's a lot harder in this set to make it work. Excuse me, but there are a lot of things that can help you get there, like the Great Divide Guide. There's the 1-drop mana fixer. There's a couple mana fixing lands. Yes, those are great. Those will work. Those will help you get to this point. But first off, running 5-color in a pre-release is a little crazy. Obviously, if you've watched my videos before, in Dragonstorm, I actually did a 5-color deck and finished 2-1. Um, but it is tough to pull off, right? There is a certain level of luck there. So let's see what we got out of our seeded pack. Um, Airbender's Ascension. That's a great card. Definitely like that rare. So when it enters, you airbend one target creature. Cool. Then when a creature you control enters, put a quest counter on this. And if you have 4 or more, exile up to one uh, target creature you control, then return it to the battlefield. Um, yeah, at your end step. So sweet little kind of conjurer's closet type of thing that we got going on there. All right, so put those there. And then whatever pre-release kit you got, so the Air one has Aang on it, you get the uncommon printing of that card. So Aang, the last Airbender. Let's just go through and see kind of what else. Nothing super notable. I'm going to sort all the cards basically by colors. Then we have lands. And we got ourselves 2 tokens. Here, you'll see we do have hybrid mana in this set, which I'm sure if you've played or picked up packs, you already saw. But I'm going to set the hybrid mana just in its pile by itself. Just because hybrid mana is kind of a different beast, right? It's a little bit different than multicolor because it could go in a white deck or a black deck or a white and black deck, like in this case of the Pretending Poxbearers, right? So, not too bad. We definitely have a white rare already that we can utilize for this deck. Yeah, let's see what we end up getting out of this pack. All right. There. Okay. There. 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 Ooh, this one, the Waterbending Scroll. If we end up sliding into blue, Waterbending Scroll can be really good because it's 6 and tap, draw a card, but the ability costs 1 less for each island you control. So that's pretty neat. Enter the Avatar State. There's a nice one. Boomy. Ooh, we got Fire Lord Zuko. That isn't too bad. That isn't too bad. If we have a way to airbend to pump up Zuko, his firebending gets better and better because it's dependent on his power. So it firebends X, right? Okay, not bad. Good rare. Kind of goes with the white that we have going on. I think we have a handful of ways to airbend different things. Could be alright. Could be alright. Alright. There. There. Lots of poxbearers. Oh, leaves from the vine. That's the first time I've gotten that. Out of all the packs I've opened. Spirit Water Revival. I keep getting this non-stop. And Zhao Ruthless Admiral. Okay. And low planes there. Okay. Not a great pack. I mean, if I had to choose a card specifically from it, I don't know. Maybe Spirit Water. But nothing that really stood out to me there that said, hey, this is where we want to go. Platypus. Zuko's Exile. White Lotus Hideout. Master Piendao. That's good if we're running a little ally deck. Uncle. Oh, Uncle Iroh. Cave of Two Lovers. Foggy Swamp Visions. Okay. Yeah. Exile X creatures from graveyards. For each creature exiled this way, you may create a token copy. Okay. That doesn't necessarily do anything for Firelord Zuko, but it does hit that that color palette for us. Not seeing anything that's really sticking out to me right now. There. Another Zuko exile. Okay, we could look at those. Combustion Man. Alright. Okay, Jasmine Tea Lotus Shop is our rare. Oop, not there. That's alright if we end up running a handful of allies there. So let's see what comes of that. Southern Air Temple as our foil. Okay. Last pack, and I have no clue what I'm running right now. No clue at all. Alright. I don't know that this pack is going to clear that up for me. Alright. Little sack stuff. Seismic Sense. Heartless Act. Twin Blades. Oh, we got double rare, double foil. So we got Avatar's Wrath, which, great card. And then Hakoda, which, look at the top card of your library at any time. He does have Vigilance. You may cast ally cards from the top of your library. And then you can sacrifice him to give creatures +0/+5 and indestructible until the end of turn. Okay. So, keep finding myself doing this, but I think diving into an ally-ish tech would make sense. Okay, Uncle Iroh could work for us. We do have a little sacrifice bear. Which, I mean, I guess could work to make things big. We have a couple things that care about sacrifice. I'm not sure those matter. 2 Zuko's exiles might be alright for us. Kyoshi Fanblade, probably put that in just to see. Firelord Zuko, sure. Yeah, okay. What else am I thinking? Okay, let's set aside cards that maybe care about sacrifice too. Blue. So what did we really get out of blue? Flyers. Drawing a second card. Spirit Revival is pretty good, and Waterbending. Scroll. isn't bad. Accumulate wisdom could be alright cards. If I'm playing blue, what am I going to play? Maybe those? I guess if I'm playing Gran, probably playing the water otter penguin. Okay. So we're definitely playing that. Hakoda, Avatar's Wrath, Invasions, Compassionate Healer is a maybe, Southern Air Temple, No Go, Path to Redemption, Master Piandao, No Kangaroo, maybe Sandbenders, Enter Avatar State could really help us. I think I'd rather just play another Path of Redemption than Sandbenders. Yep. Kyoshi Warriors feels like a must because of allies. That. Destined Confrontation. I don't think we're gonna have a lot of things like that. Okay. That's probably my white that we will run with. Let's see if green has anything that blows us away, or if it's kind of like blue, where it's all okay. Look at the top X, where X is the number of lands you control. That seems good. Earthbending Lesson could be alright. No. Maybe Leaves, maybe Origin. Cycle of Renewal. Probably not Earth and Ally. Yeah, I think honestly, if we're playing green, we're playing all the lessons we get. I don't think we're playing green. Did we take a look at red? Boomy Bash is probably a yes. Cave of Two Lovers. Cunning Maneuver seems alright. And then for maybe dealing with mana fixing, the blow up guy, Price of Freedom. Let's take a look at black then. Yeah, I'm not seeing a lot of sacrifice, but let's see. Heartless Act, probably. That guy goes there. Sure. Definitely have a lot of removal. Alright. So, I don't know if we really have a solid deck to go with. I think I'm going to get rid of green. Because, like, here's my thought, right? So, like I said, green is going to be looking at lessons, right? Red has a few lessons. I think black was the other one that had a lesson or two in it. I don't think there's anything to really utilize the lessons. There's, a lot of things like Leaves from the Vine that cares about the lessons to draw cards. Um, but we don't have any of those big hard hitters that you see in Rare and Mythic to really do something for us, right? And that's okay. Um, I'm gonna put our little sacrifice guys, cause yeah, once again, we don't really have a lot of things that deal with sacrifice. The closest thing that I saw was we had about 3 cards. The black white Tolls of War. We had Zhao, and then we had the Pirate Plunderers. And that isn't enough to make the deck do anything because basically they don't even make your opponent sacrifice. They're waiting for sacrifice to happen, and then it goes and does something for you. So, all right, let's go and lay out by curve now. So, well, curve type. Let's be honest about this. So we have that 3 there, 4 here. We do have 3 Poxbearers, which I don't think are going to make it for us. But that is that. That's okay. We have our Fire Lord Zuko, which I think we have enough airbending. We got a couple spells that can really do that for us. And if we can get it to pop off, it's gonna be a very successful card for us. 2. The other thing that I noticed about this set, at least in the decks that I have kind of thrown together, there is a lot of 2-drops that just are plain good, right? I don't know if anybody else has noticed that. If you played, let me know if that's something you've stumbled on also. I mean, just look at this, right? We have 3 Poxbearers. We have an Invasion Reinforcements, Price of Freedom, Cunning Maneuver, Kyoshi Battle Fan, 2 Paths to Redemption, and an Airbender's Ascension. And I don't feel like we're doing ridiculous things here. Still feel like we have a decent amount of room across a lot of stuff. Okay. Is this good? Well, first off, let's take a look and see. Ooh, actually put my 2 Zuko's Exiles a little high. So let's take a look, right? We have 2, 5, 10, 15, 20. We're looking 25, 30. So we have 30 cards in our deck right now without even looking at lands. Typically what you're looking for is about 23 to 25 cards and then 16 to 17 lands on top of that. Well, let me take a sip and let's figure out what we can cut. So, let's take a look and see. We have 5, 10, 14, 14 creatures, right? Which means if we have 30 cards, we got 16 non-creatures going on here. What are some things that we're looking at? So, We do have red in here. We could think about this, alright? How many times is Zuko's Exile going to cut it for us for an additional mana than a sold out? I understand the sold out is color shifted, so it's going to be black, but Zuko's does let us hit artifacts, creatures, and enchantments on top of that. I think I feel safe to cut one of each. So, we probably have 3 to 4 more to cut. Oh, Swaggy Fomp. Foggy Swamp. Swaggy Fomp. Foggy Swamp is actually a sorcery. I don't know why my brain didn't see that till now, but it didn't. So we're going to bring that guy down. What else? What else? How much? How much removal, I guess, do we have then? Let's look at that. Alright, so we have a little bit of ramp, 1 to 2 spells. We have a handful, 1, 2, technically 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8. Technically 8 cards worth of removal. Now, in my pre-release video, I've said you probably want about 5 to 7, 6 to 8, somewhere around there. So I don't think we're in a bad spot there. The one thing that I am sad about is we have no creatures in that one spot, right? These are some cards that we decided to cut to try and make it a little cleaner for us. Sad we don't have anything in the one spot for creatures. We do have a handful of things here. But what should we do? I think we have better ways to make allies than the battle fan. I'm going to put that over there. I got another card wrong, so I'm doing fantastic because Sandbender Storm is also airbending removal. I'll cut the Sandbender Storm. Yeah. Because I think we have sold out. Because that would put us at 9 pieces of removal then. Yes, you can use Sandbender Storm for the Earthbending 3, which could be pretty strong. But, no, I don't think you're probably going to use it for that. I think in most cases you're going to use it for removal. So, we'll get rid of that. What are we looking at now as far as card count? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 26. Okay, 26. And let's see. I could run... If I ran 16 lands, okay. That would put us at 42. 17 would be 43. I think I would definitely probably run with this deck right here. What we have. So I think this is actually a pretty easy, like cut and dry deck for what we're doing. So let me go through the cards real quick so you know exactly what we're looking at. I'm going to go through the creatures first, all right? So for the creatures, I have none in my 1 slot. In my 2 slot, I have 3 uh, pretending pox bears and 1 invasion reinforcement. So why do I have those cards in there? Well, the pretending pox bears, basically when they die, they create a white ally for us. They are also an ally themselves. Kind of sticks to the theme that we're looking at. In addition to that, we have invasion reinforcements, right? So it has flash, cool, and when it enters, it'll create an ally. All right, it's an ally itself. Works great. Next, we're going to go over to the 3 slot. So we have Uncle Iroh that has Firebending 1, and then also has lessons cost 1 less to cast. And we have probably a couple lessons here to cast, honestly. Um, Seeing that, I would maybe even put in the second Zuko because it'll cost 4 anyways and do exactly what Sold Out's doing. Now, it's a little bit of a risk there. Maybe I just throw in the additional card and I run 43 cards with 16 lands. I think that's what I would probably end up doing. So, here you go. I'm going to do that for you, right? Zuko. But anyways, still on our creatures. Next up in the 3 slot, Fire Lord Zuko. Why do I have him in there? Well, it's Firebending X, where that's his power. And whenever you cast a spell from exile, whenever a permanent you control enters from exile, um, put a +1/+1 counter on each of those creatures. Now keep that second ability in mind, or on each creature you control. Okay, so Zuko gets bigger, and our firebending gets bigger too. Cool. Next up, we have Glider Kids. Main reason for putting this in here: flyers are great. Just going to put in a flyer. Next, our 4 slot, we have Aang the Last Airbender. So when he enters, he airbends 1 other target non-land permanent. Cool thing about that, you airbend a permanent, Fire Lord Zuko gets bigger when you bring it in after you pay that 2 cost, right? And then whenever you cast a lesson spell and gets lifelink. So adding that Zuko's exile back in helps us there. Then we have Kyoshi Warriors. So when it enters, creates an ally. Is also an ally. Great. Then we have Hakoda, which is an ally. And then you can look at the top of your library and cast allies from the top of your library. Sick. Most of our deck is allies. Then we have Hibai. Hibai? I forget how to say his name. Spirit of Balance. And whenever he enters or attacks, you may sacrifice another creature or artifact. If you do, he gets a +1/+1, and then when he leaves, you put its counters on a target creature you control. So, after reading that, do I even want that? Let's talk about that. I don't think that is what I want. That is a 4th card for our sacrifice-ish thing that we have going. I think I found the guy that I want to use. Let's let's make sure that's our buddy. Nope, don't care about those. Here you go. I'll swap out hi bye and tell him hello, goodbye with a Foggy Swamp Hunters. Alright, so Foggy Swamp Hunters, as long as you've drawn 2 or more cards this turn, gets Lifelink and Menace. I think we have ways to draw multiple cards somewhere in here. Potentially. That might have also been a non-starter, but whatever. It's at least a little bit better card for us. The reason why I'm not looking back at the pile of things that I had taken out is, I kind of want to put a creature in that's going to help us out a little bit. I think we have ways to draw, potentially. So let's look at doing that. Then finally our last creature is Master Piandao. First strike, and whenever he attacks, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You get to reveal an ally equipment or lesson. Put it into your hand, put the rest in the bottom in a random order. Most of the stuff that we have is lessons and allies. So that just makes sense. Alright, going on to the non-creature spells. In the 1 slot, we have Enter the Avatar State. So target creature becomes an avatar. In addition to other types, gains flying, first strike, lifelink, hexproof. For 1, seems great. Then I also have Yip Yip. So if it's an ally, it gains flying, which we have allies that in this deck. So we're going to do that. And also target creature gets +2/+2. Good way to force through a little damage, or, just win out that battle you wouldn't normally win. Then we have Heartless Act. Destroy target creature with no counters on it, or remove 3 counters from a creature. Then Airbender's Ascension. This is going to be critical for Firelord Zuko. So we're going to have something leave the battlefield, then come back in. Firelord Zuko gets bigger. I have 2 paths to redemption, so pacifism, right? And worst case, I can pay 5 and sacrifice it and create a 1/1 ally. Cunning Maneuver is going to be the same thing as Yip Yip. Just kind of adding some power to a creature to either finish the job or survive just enough that we can win a fight. Price of Freedom, just a little land hate against our opponent if they have some sort of fixing, say the White Lotus Tea Shop, or Jasmine Tea Shop, sorry. And then we get to draw a card off of that. Next up, it is Foggy Swamp Visions. So if Zuko gets big, we can waterbend right into this bad boy. In addition, we can also just add mana that we have and then exile X target creatures from graveyards. For each creature exiled this way, create a token that's a copy of it. Hopefully we have something maybe like a flyer or something like that they can get through for a big amount of damage and create mana for us, right? My brain's all over the place. So in this situation, Firelord Zuko, say with Yip Yip on it, right? Gets through, it creates a crap ton of mana for us. We dump it into fire or water bending on Foggy Swamp, get a bunch of creatures for free. Seems pretty good. Yes, at the next end step we sacrifice those tokens, but maybe we can get some sort of payoff from those things. Then Cave of Two Lovers, it's going to create us allies, going to ramp us, and then going to earthbend for us. I'm okay with that. Boomy Bash in the 4 slot there. Deals damage equal to the number of lands you control. Destroy target land, creature, or non-basic. Cool. Avatar's Wrath. that is going to let us choose one creature and then airbend all the rest. And then until my next turn, opponents can't cast spells from anywhere other than their hands. You exile it, but it's super strong. Then Sold Out that we talked about, exile target creature, create a token if it was dealt damage, and then we have those two Zuko's exiles. 4/5. Exile target artifact, creature, or enchantment. Its controller creates clue. So, yeah, that is kind of what our deck looks like. As you can tell, while I'm going through reading off some of those things, there's maybe a couple pieces that I'm not 100% sure on, but I'm not 100% sure on what I would really slot in. I think this was kind of a tough pre-release kit. If I'm being honest, I don't think there's anything that really leans me directly one way or another. Um, but regardless of that, I think this would be fair enough. It'll get us probably a couple wins, maybe an extra pack or two. But yeah, that's my thoughts on my pre-release kit that threw together a deck for you guys just so you can kind of see how I would do it in Avatar. Let me know, did I make a mistake? Did I do something good? Did I do something bad? How was your pre-release? Feel free to let me know down below. Don't forget, you can always like and subscribe and tell me I'm the worst at this game. And yeah, till next time, be kind. I'll see ya, and let's get that W.